Hey, greetings everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are, whatever time it is over there. Hey, good to be with you. Mark Miller here. Roy's not with me today. He had an unexpected event that he had to go take care of, and so we wish him well. I hope everything's okay. I didn't ask any details. He just had to kind of go take care of something. So I'm like, all right, no worries. So we'll see him back on Tuesday, and hope everything is great with him. Let's jump back out over here. Let's get right into the code. We'll start by showing you get you the latest source for this, and I'll show you what's happened since yesterday's show. And here we are right here. There's the source code there. I'll pop that over into the chat room. There it is right there. And let's see. So what's happened? Well, here, let's actually switch back up over into this view instead. Well, this will take a moment to load up the overlays, but I'll show you what has happened with regards to our clock. And I think I'm going to throw this right there, just so that you can kind of see the whole thing here. I think I'm going to disable the drone game, or maybe, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to fly out. Oh, I can't do that yet. Yeah, you know what? Let's hide the drone game for now. It's still loading. We'll let it load up a little later. So I've just hidden the drone game there. And so you can see on the live stream to my right is the clock that we built. This is the clock for Dungeons and Dragons. And for the game, the live game we're going to play. And so this clock is going to show you what time it is in the game. And we set it up to we hooked it up to our controller, which is right here. And so now the Dungeon Master, for example, can, these are the time controls here across the top here. The Dungeon Master can add a long rest, for example, like that, or a short rest, or an hour, or 10 minutes. And you can see the time is updating, and also the sense of where we are in the day. So like right here, we're at about 2 in the morning. And so you can see it's still nighttime there in the display. As I go to near 3 in the morning, 4 in the morning, we're close to 5 in the morning there. And there's right at 6 in the morning, you see we're about to get the sunrise there. And so we can just kind of keep going, add another 6 hours, and then we're close to noon and the sun's straight up. And so that's kind of what's going on there. Add a long rest, and it'll be about 8 o'clock at night, and that's kind of what it looks like. So it's kind of fun. It's kind of an old school. Kind of way to show the time, which is keeping with the themes of Dungeons and Dragons. Now, today's show, I said we're going to do some sound and visual cleanup, and then we're going to also get back to the 3D dies. So that's kind of what we're going to work on today. Speaking, Straight Butta says hello. Good morning, Straight Butta. Good to see you. I'm glad you're with us. Speaking of the 3D die, if you were with us a couple shows ago, we noticed we had a memory leak in there. I was looking at that this morning, and I feel like I have sealed that thing pretty reasonably shut. Let's put it that way. I'll show you the fix to that and what it was involved with it in a little bit. The first thing I want to do is I want to fix there's some things bugging me with the clock, the time clock over here. I'll show you what I mean. When we enter combat, one of the things I wanted to do is I wanted to create an indicator that we were in combat. Because if you'll notice the time increment over here, actually there's two things that bug me about this. One is the time increment actually isn't incrementing every second. I don't understand why. It's like the dispatcher timer's not reliable or something. I'm not sure what's going on, or maybe I've got a logic bug in there. But I'm noticing that it's a little slower than every second in terms of how frequently it updates. And sometimes it won't update. I'm not sure why. So I need to take a look at that. And so I'm looking at the time over here. There's the 47. So you notice the 47 just stayed a little longer than it should have. And up here, we've got the time as well. I think that's, yeah. Straight Butta has noticed the same thing. Fine for a couple of seconds and lags a bit. I think that the logic error could be in my code. I think what's happening is that the dispatcher update isn't reliable, is what I think is happening. And then my code isn't doing anything to check to make sure that we're still good and the right amount of time has passed since our last update, that sort of thing. So I need to improve that code, make it more robust. I think that's going to be the fix. The other piece is when we enter combat, I wanted to indicate that. So I created just two other images of this, the background and the foreground piece right there, that are red, but I also created a transition effect, which goes like this. When I enter combat, and then there's likely to be some other kind of audio that plays like combat or something along those lines. However, I don't like it. I created the fire effect. It was actually really fast to create it, so I wasn't too upset about not liking it after I'd put the work into it. And I can use it in other places. I can have that fire effect. It's still useful in front of players if they get fire damage. I can change the color of it with our hue shifting sprite proxy we've seen before. So I can use it in other places, but I don't want to use it here. What I want to use instead is the fireball here. Let me just run that in. If I type in test FB here, is that going to work? There it is right there, the fireball. I want the fireball to hit when we go into combat. And that's what I want to do. So that's one of the changes I want to make. And then when we go out, I want the fireball to hit again. But when it leaves, I want it to be blue as it switches, so that we have a blue fireball, and then we go back into the blue, and the time is progressing again. So that's kind of what I want to do. That's what I think I'm going to work on first. And so let's look at that, and we'll make those tweaks and see if we can figure out how to make all that work. I'm also going to re-enable the drone game here, back on here, so that's going to take a moment to load. So bear with that. Let's look at the, let's see, the die roller. Let's skip the die roller. We're going to go into the dragon front game. And so let's look at that. In the, let's go look for a clock. Just using CodeRush's tab to next reference feature to get around here. Oh, wait, there's the one I really want to be looking for there. So here are in combat switches occurring here. Here's where I'm creating the firewall, and I'm adding it here. And that is not what I want anymore, and I don't really need the fire margin anymore either. I think we'll extract it to its own function, and I'm going to call it create firewall behind clock. That's what I think I'm going to call it, like that. And I'm going to comment that out because I don't want that anymore. Instead, I want to have something like this. This dot create. You know what? Let's do this. Let's just copy it, because guess what? Fireball is one letter away from firewall. And I'm not going to change the spelling. I'm going to declare the method instead. Let's declare that method. Where is that? Put it way up there. I don't like that. Let's put it right down here. I think I may have a setting issue somewhere where I need to, actually I'll keep that private. I've not really been doing visibility scope as much as I think I should be here. Drone should work now, straight butta. Try it now and see if it works. I have a feeling you might have tried it just before. Let's see if it works for me. Yeah, there we go. All right, cool. All right. Let me move up a bit too here. C# Fritz has arrived. We're going from OMG Nest. Hi, BloodCon says raid. Welcome everyone. I'm super happy about you joining us. Jeff, thank you so much. Jeff Fritz is a leader in our community. Kids, awesome. We love that guy. Thanks, Jeff, for the raid. Kids, if you are new to my stream, one of the things you can do is you can fly a drone around with your name on it just by typing in the drone command. And then like this. That just blew me up and then brought a new one out there. There's my drone there. And once you're flying around in your drone, you can move a certain direction by typing R, for example, to move right, and then following that with an optional number for the amount of seconds you want to move. And you can do fractional too, so you can say 0.5 or something like that. Those are some of the things that you can do. If you want to leave your mark, you can type in a color, so bang and then a color like red, for example, and it'll shoot out a little bit of paint wherever your drone is, right there. So well, let me update everybody, let you know what we're working on today. One of the things we're working on is this time clock that you see to the right of me here. This time clock is part of a Dungeons & Dragons online streaming game that I'm building the effects for. And I'm building for the effects for them in this show is what I'm doing. And so, for example, I can come in here and in my Dungeon Master app, and I can say, let's add an hour to the time. And you'll see it just kind of move like that as we add the hour. We built this part yesterday with the rotating element. We figured out how to rotate. Sprites, and we added that into our game engine, so it's not hard to do that anymore. And we like that. We're really happy about the quality of that. It looks good, and it's keeping time in Dungeons and Dragons time. You'll notice there it says the 27th of Tarsak. And in case you're curious, there's a whole bunch of crazy stuff with the Dungeons and Dragons time. For example, I just advanced it to now green grass. Green grass is not in any month in Dungeons and Dragons. So look at that crazy 240 SX is right there. Welcome. Welcome to the show. You have discovered the power of the drone at this moment. So that's what I'm doing. What I want to do though is when we enter combat, we have a current effect. I think I didn't refresh yet. That's our current effect when we enter combat. The time clock stops and I can advance around. Every time I advance around, it goes up by 6 seconds. And you can see there, every time I click this, it's going up by 6 seconds there. When I exit combat, it does this. I don't like that effect. I want to change that to something else. I'm not a fan of it. I think it's too distracting. I want it to be much faster and over soon. So we're going to use that fire elsewhere, but I've got a different effect that I want to use. Let's see if we can get that effect right here. Let's see here. This is a test piece that I had here, and I'm going to create I'm going to use a new animation here. And the animation is going to be the fireball. And let's just do a test on that. So there's that right there. So that's not bad. It's kind of red here. I want to just try adjusting the hue. Let's adjust the hue to 300 on both forward and secondary pieces of that effect and see what happens. It's a little too purple. So let's do 330. What do we got? That's a little bit better. I'm a fan of that. Okay, so I need to do a fireball and I need to adjust the hue at about 330. Let's just for kicks see what happens if we push the secondary hue, or wait, actually the main hue to 30 instead of that. Get a little bit of yellowish and the orangish in the background. Let me go back and switch this one. Let's do the secondary one here. I like it a little bit, but I really am... let's take this one back to 330. I want to go back over there and see what I got. Yeah, more like that. That's the color I want. So about 340, 330 is what I want on those two. So that's what I want to do is I want to do a fireball. I'm actually in the process of writing that code right now. Create fireball behind clock. So that's what I've got here. It's going to look something like this code right here, which it is doing the firewall, except for I'm going to change the letter W to the letter B. That's a pro coding tip right there. And let's see. Instead of adding to firewall, I need to add to our fireball. Fireball back and fireball front. So let's take a look at this. How am I? There they are, right there. There's the secret. Oh, kind of interesting. All right, interesting. Wait. I think there's one more of these that I'm not using yet. Or maybe is that it? I'm just not using it yet. Oh, here's the second piece right here. To it. Okay, so I got it. All right, so I thought I was going to find some sample code in here, but we do not have example code yet. That's all happening kind of automatically here. So I'm going to grab this right here, and we're going to go back into where we were. Right in here. Paste that in, and so now I don't need this code here, which means I don't need that. I just need to get the X and the Y position right here. And I might actually need fire margin right there. So let's create a new number. I guess we'll just call it X, and we'll create another one called Y. And let's say X is equal to this. I should have used let here. I'm trying to get in the habit of doing that. All right, so X is equal to, where's my comma? There it is right there. That, and Y is equal to that. And now then I want to do a color shifting sprite proxy on both of these. And we want to set it to, what is that? That is the starting frame number, good. And then a new vector. So this is going to be my X and Y. X comma Y. And then we're going to set hue, saturation, and brightness on that as well. Let's declare these up at the top. I'm going to say hue. We said we wanted about 330. And saturation, that's going to be a number. And then we're going to make that equal to 1. I think, is it 1 or is it 100? Let's look in the code and see what it says here. Okay, I can just, they're optional. I don't need to send them in, so I'm just going to do that instead. And we're going to get rid of brightness, saturation, so we'll go with the defaults there. We've got our X, Y. Let's do this. Let's introduce a new local for that here. Do I have, I don't have that. Okay, we're going to say position. Vector equals that right there. And pop that in here like that. Now we can see all that code there on one line. Let's grab that, come back up here. Now, the cool thing about our game engine is we can add the fireball and it's going to clean it all up for us at the end. The fireball consists of 2 animations, a back and a front, that allows us to individually control the colors of both. And look what I did. Oh, man. That code goes here. This code goes there. All right. Let's create firewall behind clock. So with that changed, let's go out to here. I won't refresh the stream just yet. Let's go in here, bring up the dragon front overlay, and that allows us to test and play with the clock. So the stream is going to have the old code, and this overlay is going to have the code we just wrote. And we'll see if that works for bringing it in. I'm going to zoom out a little bit. So there it is. Let's enter combat. Okay. Well, it definitely had a different effect, is what it had. Let's look at the, see what the console says here. No errors in the console. Okay. Let's see what's going on here. Firewall back and front. Doesn't make sense to me as to why that's not working. Well, let's, I guess we'll set, and I am calling this. Yeah, I'm calling that when I go in. Let's set a breakpoint here and see what happens here. Enter combat. We're at the breakpoint. What do we got for values here? 1628, 1022. That looks good. So we just got the hue shift in there. That should all work. That should all work. The position looks good. Oh, you know what? Hold on. The position actually may not be good. The position might be the problem. I think the position is the problem. Hold on one second here. The color shifting sprite proxy takes that position in, but that position, I think, needs to take into account the, let's take a look at the other code for this. Just notice on this, let's go back over here. I want to restore this to what this was. This dot firewall. That's what I wanted to add there for the firewall. Okay. Yeah, I think it's the position is what it is. I think we have to go into the sprite's effect figures this out. Wait, there's another place where I can look at this sample code. There it is. Yeah, that's my problem. Okay. Let's try that. So run and refresh. Here's the enter. Okay. Not bad. But I think I want to do a couple things. I want to change my default on this guy to brightness to 100 is what I want to do. So I want to change that. I also want to draw that between the two pieces is what I want to do. I think if I can, I think I can do that. Let's go look at how we're bringing these pieces in here. The sun moon dial, that's the clock right here. There, it's put in here. Let's put it behind the fireball there. So that's the Z order right there. So if we do that, now the fireball is likely to show up right between the two. Let's refresh. Also, I need a different sound effect as well. All right, what are we at? We're there. Let's. Here's the enter combat. There we go. Nice. I want to move it to the left a bit. I think is what I want to do. Key clock X. Let's subtract about 90, I think, and try that refresh on it as well. There's the refresh. By the way, these are the sound effects in here, and I think I have a poof sound effect. Do I have that? Does not look like it's starting there. Smoke. I think I've set up, I have poofs in here, sound effects. Hold on a second. Let's go into items, potion, on consume, heavy poof is what it is. That's the file I'm looking for. All right. So heavy poof is what I want to play. That also means, so now in the Dragon Front game, I've also got a class out here that handles the sound effects. So Dragon Front Sounds is here. And I'm going to create a new function called play heavy poof. Like that. And just make sure I've got the spelling on that correct. Heavy, is that heavy space poof? It really is. Okay. Also, safe play is only doing MP3s. And heavy poof is not. I think I'm going to fix that right now because I want to have it take up less space. Right now, the heavy poof sound effect is 765 kilobytes, and so I want to essentially do a save as here and get it out to an MP3. Here's the dialogue right here. And we'll get rid of the space. And it's going to go in the Dragon sound effects folder. So say OK there. Yep, that's what I want. And so now there's the heavy poof, and it's like about 1/8 of the size. So now my safe play MP3 is here, and now that should work. So now play heavy poof. I want to be able to call that from here when we create the fireball behind the clock. So I want to do something like this. This dot sound, what is it? Dragon Front Sounds dot play heavy poof, like that. And then also there's another sound effect that's happening here. That one, I want to get rid of that because that I want to put back in the create firewall behind clock. I want to put that right here. So there's the play flame on. So now if we refresh, we should get the poof inside. Sound seems about a bit loud. Thanks, Straight Butter. Are we talking about the sound effects for the, I think we're talking about the desktop audio sound effects is what you're talking about. Let me know if that's the case, Straight Butter. All right. And did we refresh it? What's going on here? Why did we lose the time? Have we just not updated the time? Yeah, the time is not updating. Look at that. Oh, because we're in combat. That's why. Okay, let's exit combat. All right, here comes the enter. Yeah, I think I'm okay with that. And the exit. Now the exit, I wanted to do the opposite, but I wanted to get a different color sound effect. So let's do this. Let's make hue shift be the parameter we pass into this. So we'll do that. Hue will be that. And get rid of that. Create fireball behind clock. That's going to be a 330. And then that's if we're in combat. If we're not in combat, we're going to say create firewall behind clock, and it's going to, we want it to go to blue, which is about 220. Maybe 200. Let's try that and see what that looks like. So we'll refresh here. Enter, whoops, not yet. I like it. So there's combat and back to normal time. So when the last person, the last enemy is, so here we're doing combat, and when the last enemy is killed, boom, we come back over there. Pretty cool. Hugo's with us now. Hugo, welcome. Good to have you out here. Rory's not with us today, Hugo. He had some family issues he had to deal with, so he's doing that, and we'll see him on Tuesday. All right. So how's the sound now, by the way, Straight Butter? Let me know how that is. So that's pretty cool, I think. Let's refresh the stream as well so we can see that. I'm just going to switch over here. That's going to clear off the streams. Surly Dev is with us as well. AncientCoder.com back. And by the way, kids, if you want a free copy of CodeRushed, hang around until the end of the show. I've been doing this for a couple days now, and at the end of the show, I'm just going to flat out ask you, do you want a copy? And if you say something like yes in the chat room or anything that affirms that you want a copy, I will send you a message on a direct message on Twitch DM, and with instructions for how you can get your download instructions for a 1-year license to CodeRushed. So if you work in Visual Studio, that might be something that you want to check out if you don't have that already. So, okay, so there's that. Now I think we need to fix the clock update problem. Because what's going on with, you know, I want to make sure that's the case. Because what, by the way, we just refreshed here. Let's watch it on the stream here. So here's the effect live on the stream instead of on the, so you've got the clock is over here to my right. By the way, when we do the Dungeons and Dragons, those coins won't be there. If we add a short rest, for example, fine. And if we enter combat, nice. And we exit combat, nice. Live over the stream, just like that. So very cool stuff. Pretty happy about that. Okay, so just a little visual effect there that lets people know, okay, we're in combat. They see the red clock, they know it's not advancing, that sort of thing. We get out. So Straight Butter says, headache this morning, but feel better now. Oh man, that sucks. Surly Dev says, sorry I'm late. I was distracted installing CodeRushed of all things. Well, that's fine. You know, I'm happy to have you guys here. Without Roy, I started the show with a big fat 0, I think. Got a couple people in, then was rated by my good friend Jeff Fritz and boosted the numbers up here to 27. So thanks everybody for being with us. So we're kind of fixing and tweaking today. I'm going to get into the 3D dice, I think. I feel pretty good about that. I feel pretty sure I'm going to do that. What else do I want to? Oh, I want to look at the clock issue. I want to look at the code behind the clock and see if we can figure out what's going wrong there. The problem, what's going wrong, is sometimes there's lag and it never catches up. Like there, look at the 36. It lasted way longer than a second. right? So if something's happening, if CPU process is up, our timer dispatcher is not getting called, and we're not updating. And on top of that, I've got code that trusts that it's always going to be called on a, on a pretty regular basis. So let's go look at that code. And I think it's somewhere out in here is where I think it is. Here's update clock. Here's our D&D time clock changed. And so here's, let's see. Oh no, wait, that's not what I was looking for. Here's the time clock right here. The D&D time, whoops, hold on. D&D time clock. Set time, oh wait. Okay, time changed. Where is that coming in here? The real-time advanced timer. This is the piece. Here's the thing right here. Yeah. Okay, here's what's going on. Okay, so let's do this. So here's the thing. We've got this set with an interval of 1 second. Okay? Okay, no big deal. When we go into combat, we stop the timer. When we come back out of combat, we start it. Okay, that's good too. Let's look at our real-time clock handler. What's happening? Here we're advancing the time by 1 second. Okay, this is the problem. We're trusting that it's going to happen actually every second. What we need to do instead is we need to have a breakpoint here so we can change the code. And we need to instead store the last update time. So we're going to say last, not what I wanted, undo, last update time. And that's going to be equal to date time now. DTN is a CodeRushed template that lets me get date time now fast. In the CodeRushed key, choose and declare field. Okay, last update time is there. When we start the timer, we also want to have that same line of code in there. We want to right here, when we start it, we want to do that. So we don't start when we first, I'm not seeing code to actually start the timer. Let's do this. Let's extract this method. And call it start real time timer. Like that. And I think I want to, we've got to update this code here in a second. I want to do this when we load, I think is what I want to do. Yeah. So I think we need an onloaded kind of thing for the window. Let's see if we can go get that. Do we have that? No, not where I wanted to be. Sorry. View designer. We do, window loaded. I'm using CodeRush's tab-to-next reference to get here quickly. Okay, on combat change, update clock. And I think what I want to really do here is I want to say start real time timer. There. Okay. Then what I want to do in here is I want to check to see, I want to say basically have an expression here. Have I been drone denied? Ask Surly Dev. No, you should be able to get it to work. Although we may be, oh, you know why? Because I'm on edit and continue. That's why. So you're not going to be able to do anything till I get out of that. Let's declare a local right here. This is going to be the time since last update. Like that. And then this is going to be total seconds here. And I think that's going to fix it, is what I think it's going to do. I think if we start this, we're going to maybe have some really, okay, hold on a second. What's going on here? Is it just a rounding issue? Is that what it is? Because I bet it expects an int. Okay, so we're going to say math.round Oh, no, no, no. No, we're not going to do this. We're going to do from milliseconds, because if I round, we've got the same problem all over again here. No from milliseconds here. Oh, but this is my code, so I can add it. Okay, great. So we're going to type milliseconds. Did I spell that right? Looks like I did. Let's declare it. Declare it. Boom. Hold on. Do you do time span? The count is an int. All right. Oh, whoa, 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 whoa. All right. You know what? We're going to still, I think we're still going to be able to do it. We're going to be able to say, we need to go into time measure. We're going to need to modify that. Wow. No, we're not going to modify that, because guess who doesn't like us modifying an enum during edit and continue? Okay, hold on a second. Let's not do that. Let's not do that. Let's come back. Let's come back. Let's double check this. It wants it to be in milliseconds. Let's do this. Hold on a second. Let's drill into this. What you got here? Millisecond. Oh, it's 2 L's? Thanks for that. Advance. I'm going to spell it MS. Is that bad? Is that wrong? I'm expecting CodeRush's spell checker to come in and help me out. Did I turn it off? Is it not up here? There it is right there. I turned it off. Okay. That's the problem. Okay, that's why it didn't highlight it for me. Okay, so milliseconds. And then we're going to say time span is equal to time span dot from milliseconds. That's where I thought I was. Okay. And then I want to call advance with a time span going in here to it here. Oops. Like that. That's the unit of time. Wait, hold on. Milliseconds. Oh, you know, I used to have a show, a comedy show that I did with Carl Franklin. Carl produced it. And it was called Milliseconds, like that. Because my nickname was kind of like Milla, like that. Yeah, so Surly Dove says it's unit of time that Mark thinks of an idea, coalesces the thoughts in his head, implements it in his mind, and decides to code it up. Or alternatively, decides to not do it at all. Oh yeah, that's not going to work. So something along those lines. Those both can kind of work here. So now I want to have an advance call here. This advance is going to take this, like that. Oh yeah, spell checker's on. Look at it. It doesn't like all of these months, these D&D months. It's not happy with those. And, oh, I need a reverse direction in here as well. We'll add that in a second. Let's just get back to where I was. So there's advance and reverse direction. Like that. And so now we're going to come in here and we're going to say advance here. Pass in this, whoops, and reverse direction. Come on, IntelliSense, help me out. Somebody, why am I not getting anything here? Is my code wrong? There it is, okay. There's reverse direction, and there's that one. And we need a similar call down here. Selection increase right there to get that quickly. Reverse direction. Okay. There's that one. And is it just those two? I just have those two advances. one that passes in a D&D time span. This should arguably be private, is what this should be, like that. Okay, so if that code all works and I can actually run this, then that means that wherever we were before, which I've totally lost track of, let's see if we can get back to it. Here, we are now going to come down in here and say total milliseconds. Total milliseconds, like that. And that is going to go into, it's going to find that one right there, the milliseconds one, which is the one we want. And then we're going to, and then we've set this right here. Well, I can do it right after this call too if you want, like that. No, I like it better here. Okay, so now let's run.
Hey, Mark.
Yeah, what you got? Oh, that's the mark from before. Oh, no. No code to show all threads. What? No. It's there. We added it. It looks like there's a problem with edit and continue. We might have to shut down. It's going to shut down for me just by hitting continue. All right, no worries. We'll clean up. Hold on a second. I got to shut down every instance of Chrome that's out there. That's one of the things that we have to do. I think I can just come right back up and start it again. What was your nickname? He doesn't Mr. Announcer Bot still call you that? Yeah, Milla. We try to get your attention at times. It does, yeah. Okay, well, maybe I did have a problem. What do we got here? Okay, all these signal error messages are driving me nuts. Okay, fire margin. Oh, okay, cool. Let's fix that. And maybe I should rename this actually in both places to the display margin, I think. This is really a little bit more. And actually here, I think it's arguably that I don't actually need to drop it down. The fire I did, but the fireball I won't need to. Okay. Yeah, if you type in bang mark, well, when we're running, it's not running now, so nothing's going to work till we start it up. And apparently I can't start it up because I got some errors here in Signal R. I wonder if I can clear these errors by removing Signal R from the project. Dice and Signal R are both like kind of things that are bugging me, but these are all good to go. Right? I think the answer, I don't like that message that says, are you sure you want to run? But could disable the JS doc rule and JS lint. Can you tell me how to do that, Hugo? Or give me a link? Tell me what I need to search for. All right, well, that ran this time. I'm not sure what the problem was. I don't think we really changed anything. All right, so now I'm going to refresh here on our stream. So get those overlays to reload. Here they come. And let's take a look over here and see if this looks like it's updating more. Come on, just here. More reliably. No, oh, but look. So the answer is yes. However, it's jumping by several seconds. So we can fix that by going into our real-time clock and changing its frequency of updating is what we can do. Pretty sure we can solve that problem here. Right? That's the problem here. I'm going to change this to a 0.3, I think. Oh, it's an int. Ugh. Milliseconds. That's what I want, but I got to pass in days, hours, minutes, seconds, and milliseconds. That's what I need. Oh, wait. Duh. This was sample code I got. I didn't even see that this was here. We're going to have to shut down because I've got, this is an initialization, and I want to change this. I'm going to shut everything down a second. And let's go. Mr. Announcer Bot's disabled for a second. wasn't even reading the code that was in front of me. All right, so from milliseconds. And we're going to pass in, or wait, can I do from seconds with a double? Would that let me do that? That would be happier for me. It's a double. All right, cool. So now I want to pass in a 0.3, I think. I think that's going to increase my accuracy. Or maybe a 0.2 even. Let's do a 0.2. So 5 times a second. We'll do that. We'll update. Sorry about that, kids. Wrong button. All right, killing Chrome. And here we go. Oh, we got a link for me, Hugo. Surly Dev rubs Wild Genie's lamp. Okay. Wild Genie says, good stream. Thank you, Wild Genie. Appreciate that so much. Let's see how we do. Starting up. Pieces are coming in here. Let's look at it now. What? That was, I think, Windows doing something. I was dragging it. Hold on. I think something else was grabbing my attention. Okay, so here we go. Oh, it's not looking good to me. That dispatch timer does not feel solid. No. Nope, 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 nope. Is it the dispatch timer? Is that the problem? Or is it my code? Somewhere in an obscure location that I haven't seen yet. Yeah, it's bugging me. All right, so that's not working. That's sad. Is it that we're not calling? Let's see what's going on here. So advance time since last. Let's see what happens, what's going on here. Let's follow this code through here. And then here, D&D time span, advance, and then we're to here. And then we call set time. Let's just drill into it. And then we call on changed. So we're going to call on change span since last update. Oh, yeah. I think we can fix it in our handler is what I think we can do. Let's go look at our handler for this. It's here. Well, if we calling update clock, maybe I'm wrong. Let's see what the code looks like here. Update clock. We're just grabbing that code. We should be updating this 5 times a second. I wonder if the time oddity variance might be due to a combination of things like the dispatch timer, signal R, processing timer, or timer, or client. Well, here's the thing. We're ruling out signal R because this is my WPF app right here, which is also showing me the time right here. So that's one of the things. So I'm not, also signal R, my experience with it, it's pretty much instantaneous, right? When we click buttons here, things happen immediately, right? If I'm like over here and I say enter combat, and I click that, here we go, 1, 2, I'll move my finger. I'll touch my fingers when I click the mouse so you can see the timing on it. Whoops, I missed. Oh, well, we don't have we're debugging now. Is that right? Or no, we're not? Hold on. Well, let's just trust me. I'll demonstrate it later. It looks like I can't. I want to get back to the code and demonstrate it here. Hold on a second. What if the client called the server to get the time on a timer instead? Well, because the D&D clock is maintaining the time, not anything else. So I wanted to verify txt time. So I want to do something else here. I want to just do set a breakpoint here on update the clock, and let's do toggle like this, and then we're going to say toggle equals not toggle. Oh, I've got a template for this, by the way. If this is on the clipboard, I think it's like SBT. No? Boolean toggle. I thought that was the template we had, but it's not, apparently. All right, so I've got toggle is equal to not toggle, and then I want to say if toggle, then I want to say text.time.foreground. No, what is going to be the color of that? Got anything that gives me in color? Stroke, font, something. I can do this. Font weight is equal to, got some IntelliSense for me. Oh, there, something, is it? Font weights, no, I said weights dot heavy. Then otherwise it's going to be normal. I just want to get something to give me a sense of, is this coming in at as frequently as we think it is? That's what I want to do. So let's do that and see if we see this thing flashing about 5 times a second. We do not see it flashing 5 times a second. Why don't we see that happening? Let's look at that. I just think it is, they were calling update clock. If the text is null, yeah. Is that ever happening? I don't think that's happening. We're not out of there. That's never happening. Okay, good. So that means our time changed is not being fired frequently. And we're not being called here. That means advance is not being called. This should be being called every point to, let me run it. Whoops, I want a breakpoint and then run it. Did I really have foreground there? Yeah, I don't have a sense of the time on this and how frequently this is being sent out here. Yeah, what's going on with the dispatcher timer? It feels like it's not reliable, is what it feels like. See what we can find. Yeah, I'm a fan of the tick count. Yeah, this might be a more interesting approach, doing that and then taking on the UI thread. I'm going to sit and think about this for a bit. But if I look at this, this seems to be strong evidence that dispatch timer is not firing 5 times a second. It's like, it's crazy to me. what's happening with here. Let's do one more thing here. Hold on a second. Let's do, let's get its handler here. Let's just verify this, do the same thing here. Let's do, we'll set a breakpoint here. Let's get another piece of UI out there. Here, we'll get a named piece of UI that's on this page. Do I have, well, I guess I can just play with the color is what I can do. If toggle, then dot, and let's get that foreground now. I thought I typed it in, I just didn't see it, but let's see. Foreground color is equal to, and I think it's like I got to do something like a new solid brush or something like that, right? Is that right? Solid color brush. New solid color brush. From the color, blue, and we're going to say otherwise red, and I need a different toggle here. This is going to be toggle 2. And then we're going to say toggle 2, and then toggle 2 equals not toggle 2, like that. So let's see if what's happening here, because I just want to see to make sure that what I think is happening is actually happening. Yeah. It is clearly not being called that many times a second. Let's do one more thing. One more thing in an effort to try to, you know, find sanity, which I don't think is going to work, but, you know, whatever, maybe. And I want to say, no, what's still running? The web page still running. Okay. Yeah, I'm grasping at straws here. Milliseconds, like that. And we're going to say 200. Yeah, that's like super disappointing. Let's start it up again. All right, let me take a look at this JS doc thing here. Why can't I scroll up, kids? Why can't I scroll at all? That's weird. I'm using the mouse wheel to scroll. I'm grabbing the scroll bar to scroll. Certainly says, can you add a UI control like a list where you can add a new entry with that time and each time that event fires, just in case toggles are so quick? Oh yeah, we could. Yeah, I don't think that we're going to see anything different, though, is kind of where I'm at on that. But the cool thing about edit and continue, yeah, here it is right here. Yeah, same thing we saw before. Yeah, it's killing me. That's tearing me apart inside. I don't get this at all. But let's do that. Let's just do the suggestion let's do Surly Dev's suggestion. And oh, you know, the thing is though, is I can't do it in edit and continue because although we can add that control, we can't give it a name. And so to find it is hard. I've got to find it by its essentially type or position. And so it's a lot of extra code. It's much easier to just stop and restart. But yeah, I don't think that's the problem. I think it's the fact that this is only updating the numbers at these times is indicating that it's also got the problem. The good news is it's keeping its time correctly generally, but it's not updating frequently enough is the problem. We can do a system threading timer. I think that's what we got to do. What is that dispatch timer is just like crazy to me. How can it not support this? It makes no sense to me at all.
Yo, 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 Mark!
What quote? Timers are not guaranteed to execute exactly when the time interval occurs, but they are guaranteed to not execute before the time interval occurs. Yeah, I've read that before too. But my experience with timers has been like, you know what, they're still, from a UI perspective, they're good. This, from a UI perspective, is not good. This is like, I'm telling it to give it to me 5 times a second. It says, I'll give it to you a couple times, in 5 seconds. I'll give it to you 2 and 5. It's like the opposite of what I want. So I don't have I'm like a little blown away by that. We can do 2 things. I think we can try. I think I want to fix it because I'm like, a little upset about the whole thing. So we got to go to another timer, WPF timers, timer salute precision. I guess I want to do that. I hate this because it's not really precision, but I want to avoid the dispatcher. What's this? I'll take that. Oh, but that's just for measuring elapsed time. That's not what I want. Couldn't it be giving you multiples in one call, so it's stalling 2 times per callback? I don't think that's happening. And the reason I don't think that's happening is because the number should be updating. So the question is this happening, once and then another time is the question. And I don't think that's the case in terms of what's happening, that it's doing that, because we're advancing the time, the distance that passed by. That advance should then turn into a it should turn into then an event that comes back and calls us. We can do this too. Here's another way we can do this. Since we seem intent on believing that this is likely to maybe be mysteriously being called more times than this, let's do this. Let's create a new list of date times like that. And this is not going to be initialized here, but let's do this instead. Let's copy, let's delete from there to there. We can do that, and then we can do this. We can say, if that's null, then let's create a new date time on this kid right here. And then what I want to do is I want to say list.add DTN, like that. Then I want to say if list.count is greater than 50 or 40, there you go, I'll give you 40 of those. Then we're going to say, what is it, diagnostics.debugger.break. Well, actually, it doesn't matter because I can just set a breakpoint right there. All right. Everybody happy now? And we run. And so I've said 40 times. If it was updating many times per second, we would have seen that hit by now. I think we're going to see it hit in a little bit. Shirley Div says, always happy. Always happy, Mark. If we hit this breakpoint, I'll be happy. Come on. Wonder what our count is. Well, I guess we can just set another breakpoint here. We've got to have some entries by now. Okay, what do we got in our count? We got 22. All right. So yeah, it's not. You can see what's happening. Well, wait, hold on. Okay, so here we go. It fires at 33, 34, 36. So we got a 2 second jump here, 2 times here, 1 second jump here, a couple times here, then a 2 second jump, what appears to be a 2 second jump. You have more than 1 second between here and here. A bunch of times in 40. Yeah, it's all over the place. It's like that scene from the old movie Airplane where the They're trying to figure out how the plane's at like 10,000 feet. It's 30,000 feet. He's all over the place. Yeah, you're right. I am getting multiples per second sometimes, but I'm also getting, you know, a few outside of that. So what are we, the multiples per second, are we thinking that's just not updating? Is there something else? What could be going wrong? Yeah. This concerns me. I feel like I should be getting like 5 of these per second for every one of these. I wonder if I can change the interval right here. I bet I can. Let's do this. Let's set the interval equal to 50. See how crazy things get, and then run it. Set my breakpoint there. Getting faster. Yeah, it's just crazy to me. Yeah, we still haven't hit our breakpoint yet. What's our count now? 39. Almost made it. So scroll down here. What do we got near the end after we changed it? Yeah, no, we still have like more than a second. Oh, look at this, 4 seconds here. Although that could be because of the breakpoint we hit and it was trying to get to the breakpoint. So we can ignore that one because it's the last one. I got 3 seconds here, 3 seconds here. Yeah, it is. This is letting me down like crazy. My take on this is the real-time clock handler. This is happening right here directly off of the dispatcher timer. Dispatcher timer is not doing the job we needed to do. I don't understand why that's the case. It is not clear to me. I like almost hope I've got some crazy system problem here that's causing this problem somehow. Like my machine is so crazy that it's whatever, the clock doesn't. What's the priority on the timer? That's a great question. I didn't know I could set priority. Let's take a look at that. Let's do this. Let's come in here. We're going to clear our list here like that. We are going to, we can move this code here. What's priority? Nobody told me about priority. I don't see any priority on it. Dang, dang, dang. I don't know. How do you get, is it my machine running something intensively? Yeah, kind of. Let's see what's my, it depends. Yeah, I'm about 73%. No, just jumped to 40%. So it's not too bad. When we go back and run, let's run it, continue to run it, and see if, yeah, I think we got to switch to another timer. I'm at 40%. Oh, it's a constructor argument? Okay, well, let's kill it. Let's go change that constructor. Close, close, what else is running? Close. Okay. Let's keep this because it was kind of fun. And oh yeah. Oh yeah. Looking for high. Where's high? I can only drop it low. All I'm seeing are idle, background, context idle, data bind, inactive, input. What is the default here? Loaded? Wait, what's loaded? Nope. I feel it. Oh, send. Highest priority. Fine. We're going to do that. And we're going to try running one more time. Here we go, kids. And if this doesn't fix it, we have to switch the, yeah, normal, I think, is what I'm assuming the default is. Oh, This is a lie, isn't it? Oh, no, wait. Got an invalid token. Okay. Gotcha. All right. Start. Surly Dev says, like Dropbox is the third most CPU intensive process at the moment. Before I stream, I pause Dropbox. So it shouldn't. Wait, did you just see that on mine? Yeah, Dropbox is paused. It shouldn't be taking anything up right here. OBS, this is my streaming software. Visual Studio, we're starting stuff up. Yeah. So my CPU, my machine is was the fastest machine I could get about 6 months ago when I got it. Fastest machine that I found out there. It was a laptop, and but when I see this up at 100%, I'm thinking, oh, I need to find a faster machine. So. Worldwake says, yeah, just had the most productive remote working session with a coworker thanks to Visual Studio Code and Live Share. Nice, Worldwake. That's awesome. Yep. Surly Dev comes in, confirms that send is the highest priority. Set the parent. Oh, set the parent timer parameter. What is that? The parent timer parameter. I run Process Explorer rather than Task Manager. Well, you folks turned me on to Process Explorer the other day, and I was pretty happy with that. And I downloaded it and installed it, but guess what? Windows doesn't know where it is. I've got to go find it if I'm going to go start it up again. Okay, so let's see. Oh, things look better. That's way better. Now we take out our funky toggle code, and that's going to look good. All right, so that was it. Okay, kids, we learned something today. All right, so we can kill the list, kill the toggles. There's that. And we need to, where's my other toggle in here? There it is right there. Let's kill that code as well. And kill that. And run. What? What's my problem? Oh my gosh, this is killing me. I gotta go look at the, whoop, there they are right there. Deleting a field, oh fine. I'll keep the toggle. And that means we also have the toggle 2 we gotta bring back as well. I bet I can just do that and it'll be happy. Come on, you should be happy. Really? Okay. Run now. Yeah, I put the field back. Do I have to put it back where it was? All right, let's undo, let's undo, let's undo, let's undo. Oh, it's the list. That was the thing I didn't get rid of. Okay, so there's that. Let's go back to the toggle again. Take that out, and now let's run. Please work with me. Okay, there we go. Where is our app? Oh, wait, we got a breakpoint. Clear it, run. Okay. There you go. That's hitting as seconds as I know it. Let's refresh our clock in the stream as well. And then once that refreshes, we should see that updating, the clock stream updating every second. And it looks like we have fixed that bug courtesy of folks in the chat room. Thanks so much. Oh, we're going to need to clear out those. Let me do this. I'm going to just hide drones for a second so we can see the clock and see it updating. Look at that update. That's what we're talking about there. Entering combat and it'll freeze at 5. And exit combat. And it goes back at 6. That's sweet. Nice. Thanks so much for the priority suggestion there,
Awesome!
Hugo. Hugo has saved us today.
Hugo rocks!
Because Hugo rocks, kids. That's what's happening. All right, let's re-enable the drone game here. So we'll load that back up again. I'm pretty happy with that. That feels good. Let's go to dice. You guys are cool if I keep coding, right? You're not going to be all like, oh, he's too much code. That's what I don't like about Mark. Too much code. Let's take a look at the dice. All right, so the dice, made some progress with that this morning. I was essentially, to find the memory leak, since I was working with code that some of it I had not written, I was commenting out code and I was, reviewing code is essentially what I was doing. Let's unmute this for a second. Oh, there we go. Sounds are loading. By the way, let me know if those sounds are too loud out there. All right. So, to roll the die, this is the piece I use right here. I'm just going to go ahead and hit this button once right now. Uh-oh. Oh, got a breakpoint? That's okay. All right. So, let's go look at it. All right. So if I do like a skill check here, hold on. Let me change the effect there. There we go. So there's our roll right there. So this is, so I'll kind of explain a couple things that are going on here and some issues with this. First, I'll show you the, well, a couple things. One is I added my own dice because I needed a 100% roll right here. And so I've got that right there. Hold on a second. Sounds are on the loud side. At the moment, they're a bit intense, at least the explosion portal effects. Okay, so let's see if I can actually fix that just with my sound mixer, because I am curious to know if that is going to do it. Or you know what else I can do? I can drop desktop audio sound down and see if that has an impact and fixes it. Let's roll the dice again. That's a soundless effect. Let's roll the dice one more time. How is that? Dice sound is fine. Yeah, it's slow. Okay, the metallic grinding one. Yeah, I'm kind of with you on that. It seems loud. I'll tweak that, I think, after the show is what I'll do. This one's quiet here. Actually, I like that last one, the fire one, actually, the fireball. Okay, so right now, let's look at the dice code and we'll look at the fix and where it is here. We're looking at dice.js. So dice.js is right here. This is code that I got off the internet, and the problem was this works with both 3.js and Canon. And the problem was there was a clone call in here, and it was on the geometry right here. And then later we reassigned to the same geometry. But we need to call a dispose because geometry holds on to other things. And if you simply reassign it, those things are not released. So this was part one of the fix for the memory leak. The other part of it was back in my code as well, which was right here. I had created this function called clear all dice. And in clear all dice, once I discovered the other geometry dispose call, I came over here, added this one, and I'm like, and I was running it for a while and continuing to do the refreshes on the memory profile, and it was good. So if we go into inspect over here, do the memory, and we do a memory profile on this, does a snapshot of it. What? 25.4 megabytes? Well, maybe I still have a problem. Who knows? Let's see. And then run it, and do a profile again. Take another snapshot. It better be close to 25.4. What? What? Okay. This could be, though, with mine. Hold on. I want to say, I think there's something else going on here. All right, so definitely there's a problem with my stuff. Hold on a second. I love it when I come in here and I say, well, I claimed it, but no. Yeah, I'm sure this is up again by a huge amount. Okay, great. Let's go back, though. Let's refresh. I love being wrong live on video. That's my favorite thing. What do we got here? All right, so let's do it again here. Here, I'm going to prove to you that here on the refreshes that the memory snapshots are not. So 14.2 megabytes. Take another one. 14.2. All right. Hugo says, make sure the missus isn't watching when you said that about being wrong. I should check that. Check to see who's out there lurking. Is she lurking? Take another memory profile. This was, so there we go. So look, so now in my code though, I've got a problem somewhere. That's okay. I can find and fix that. I'm not too worried about that. The problem I had this morning is that in the code I was using, there was a memory leak every time we were rolling the dice. And now that is gone. So one more time there. Yeah, it feels pretty good. That 14.4, I'm not too worried about. I think it's going to drop back down to 14.2. See if it does. Maybe not. Stays at 14.4. I'm still not worried about it. It's not like what it was before, where it was growing up by like several megabytes every roll. Okay? Okay. All right, should we go look at I don't know what to do now. Should I look at my stuff, my memory leak on this, or not? Once I start throwing, these rolls will stop. So I just threw mine out. Mine look great, and they go away, but watch, take a look at this. Boom, it's at 14.9. Let's roll again. And I bet we go up again by another half a megabyte. Yep. Oh, wow. By 4 megabytes that time. Giant. And again by another 4, I'm sure. Yeah, 2. Okay, fine. All right, so we got to figure that out. Yeah, it's not good. Let's go take a look at what's going on here. Oh, hold on, though. Cleared IC time. I did have that. Okay, so I had some different ways of looking at this because I was trying to figure out where the problem was in the code. So if they're running, we're clearing the dice every time. That's good. So their code, which happens every time, is in this random dice throw that keeps getting called again and again. So we clear the dice each time that's set to true, so we're going to clear all the dice. And we do that. I think since that's set to true, I'm going to go through every place and just assume it's true and take it away like that. So I'm going to take away that code there. And so this is true. So yes, this is true. So we can do this as well. So we know that code is good. And what else? What else do we have here? Clear dice each time. That's it. Okay. Anything else we need up here? No. So we've got, let's go look at the code and see if we can, if we're smart enough to figure it out. Random dice throw. So let's just look what it does. This is my code. It goes out and clears any animations that are out there that are looping. So some of those animations like the fire effect or those kinds of things, those looping effects will go on forever unless we clear them. And so that clear looping animation, that's my code, so that makes sense there. We're clearing off a bunch of stuff. I wonder if these are things that we should also do at the start of our throw. Because I'm not sure if we're doing this at the start of our throw. Let me go look at clear all dice. There's clear all dice. Oh yeah, there's we're doing kind of the exact same thing. Let's change this to clear for throw. Oh, look, we do have, hold on a second. clear before roll actually does all of these things. Let's just double check that. Clear before roll, I just want to look at these things right here. Scaling dice, special dice. Okay, restore dice scale, set normal gravity. Waiting for settle, dice values. Clear all dice. We have stopped rolling to false, but that's not a harmful thing. So, yeah, so I think we can take all of this and change this to clear dice before throw, clear before roll. Let's save that and refresh it. See what the impact is. It's still loading up. Okay, clear the snapshots. Take one. 15. Oh, that's not good. That's higher than before. Take it again. Okay, it's holding steady though. $16. Functionally, it's still working. 16. I think we're good. Maybe we're good. We got to 16.1. Do any of these collections you're clearing by setting to empty have event handlers attached? That's a great question. I don't think so, but let's double check that. Oh, this is not good. We're kind of creeping up here. Well, back down to 16.2. Well, we started at 15.8. It's definitely not the other problem we were dealing with. Yeah, 16.2. I think we might be okay. Each loaded effect will take up some memory. No? Yeah, they do, but they all are loading. So this could have been happening. They might have still been loading in this span right here. But yeah, it feels like we're at 16.2 and holding steady. 16.3. 16.1. Yeah, I'm feeling good. All right, so that's not bad. Okay, so that change is okay. Let's see if we can answer the event problem here. Actually, let me do. I'll just mute the site and let it keep playing while we're doing this and looking at the events. So there's one event that's hooked in here, and that event is on die.body. Okay, add event listener collide. I am pretty sure when I call clear before roll that we clear all dice comes in and removes that event listener just before we set that in there. And I don't think there are any other event listeners in here. Let's double check that. Is it different depending on the effect? No. What happens is all those effects are all loaded at the beginning. So there's another add event listener here though. Hold on. Do we have two prepare base die? That's my call coming from my prepare die. So my prepare die looks like this. And the other add event listener that's out there, I think is going to look very similar to this code. It does this. This code is inside of the random dice throw. So this is very similar to my prepare base die. And then we do prepare values after this call. And then after that, if we're going to repeat the random throw, we do a set interval call here so that we continue to randomly call random dice throw right here, that function, every second between roll seconds. I think it's something like 9 seconds, every 9 seconds. And we start off with 1. And there's the request animation frame there. So Yeah, I'm not sure I'm gonna be able to find this quickly, is what I think I'm not gonna be able to do. Yeah, everything with the animation, the sounds, everything with the random throws are working. Let's go look at what my throws look like too, and I guess we can kind of compare the two. So here's my please roll dice. This is the code that clears out that interval, so we stop throwing randomly. I've got a check here to say, hey, if we're already running a throw, just queue it. Nothing, the queuing isn't working yet, but it will. So the idea is the throw's running and you ask immediately for another throw. We wait till this throw finishes and the dice are gone to throw the next one. That's the idea there. Well, Genie's got 110 coins right now. Cleaning up. Awesome. Awesome, Wild Genie. Okay, let's look at this here. So I got the clear before roll. I am creating new dice here every time. Are they creating new dice in theirs? Let's drop a marker here. Let's go up to... Here, let's create a vertical tab group here. So we're going to do random throw dice on the left and mine on the right here. Oh, fine, mine on the right and random throw on the left. Can I find random throw in here? No, because it's nested. Is that why? Oh, am I in dice? Hold on. Oh. I'm totally misunderstood what was happening here. Is this what I want? That's what I want. Let's go back over here. I wanted to do that left and right. Can I do that left and right? There's that. Where's the same here? It's not here. I can't do left and right. Too bad. All right, so I'll do it this way then. So please roll dice is on the bottom. Up here on the top, we're going to go up to... Here it is. We'll just kind of compare the code. So we got clear before roll. There's my clear before roll right there. So there and there. Yep, we're creating new dice each time. They're doing the same thing that I'm doing. So there's my die is equal to new die. I'm sending it out to the console, and then I'm calling prepare die. Prepare die, they're doing immediately here is they're saying scene.add, die.getObject, and dice.pushDie. Let's see what prepare die looks like. Prepare base die. Okay, dice.pushDie. Okay, that's happening. Scene.addObject. That's happening. Not quite the same order. The getObject call is there. We can kind of change this a little bit to make the order the same. I don't think that has anything to do with it, but we've got those two pieces there. All right, then they iterate through all those dice, and what I'm doing instead is I'm just preparing each die and doing essentially the same code. So we've got this code here that's basically get the Y random position. It's essentially matching this right here, which is basically stacking up the die, getting different velocities, positions, and angles on these to kind of get a random kind of throw out here. Calling update body from mesh, doing the same thing there. What else down here? Die object body, velocity set, angular velocity set. I specify the name. I add my event listener here. They add the event listener there. Could this be my problem? But I did say I was removing it, right? Didn't I? I was removing that. Maybe my remove is not working like I think it is. If I don't add this here, I'm pretty sure I'm not going to get collisions. I'm not going to hear anything when they collide. Let's just try this. Let's try commenting this out. So that's in my code. That's in my prepare base die. We'll come back over here. We still rolling? We're still rolling. Let's now throw, let's do a memory profile and then we'll throw, see what we got. So a memory snapshot, close to 16. Look at that, nice. Now, throw, there's the throw. Whoa, we're at 16. Let's throw again. Memory profile. We still at 16? Ah, we're not. That didn't fix it. It's funny, the first one is good and the second one is like, whoa. And then we're just cranking it. We're just creeping up like crazy. Okay, so that alone is not the fix. Let's keep going. You're asking if they're, Hugo, if they're removing theirs somewhere? The answer is yeah. We looked at that remove code earlier. We're both removing. My code is cleaning up both of those right there. And then they just run the throw. That's what they're doing. So for me, there's the prepare base die right there. Let's get out of that. Dice values push. So this is the random value that's going to be run. That's going to be rolled. Is what's happening here. So the dice values push is happening there. That code all looks good to me. That's equivalent to this bit right here. So that looks good. Okay. Prepared 10 by 10 die. This is something new. Let's just try this. Let's comment out the two 10 by 10s. And then we called the Dice Manager prepare values, which is what they call as well. Now, they are hooking the event after the call to prepare values. I'm wondering if the event hook before could maybe have something to do with it. Just wondering. It seems unlikely, but I'm wondering. All right, let's refresh. See what we get. All right, let's go out to memory, clear, do a profile. On the right side, it shows that each section is taking RAM. If you look to see exactly what is growing in size to help hone in on what is actually eating RAM. Straight Butter, great question. I did look at this a couple days ago, and I was pretty much defeated by the noise. I was not able to find it. So we're at 17.6. Let's do our roll. There's our roll right there. Take a look at it. So no, I've got no D10 going out there. No D10 going out. Those are the new die I created. Nope, still got the problem. Let's take a look and see. Let's do Straight Butter's suggestion and see if we can find clues as to what is the problem. So I think I can, how do I compare these two? I forget how to do that. Let's do this. Objects allocated between 4 and 5. So I got some mesh material that's out there. It looks like I'm not cleaning up the mesh. Is what is my guess is what, well, this is what's allocated actually. Yeah, this is what I'm talking about, the noise. So just a whole bunch of arrays, okay? But then I'm like, all right. The size delta, there's the huge thing right there. So it's in the arrays. Yeah, I'm like, it's not clear to me here how to explore this, unfortunately. Yeah, I am not a master at this at all. And I'm not seeing any clues here too as far as these particular objects. Oh, there's a little bit more data down here. Let's see if I can actually get this to figure out what's going on here. Handle die collision. Is that a clue? Wait a second. Is the problem... That doesn't make sense, though, that the problem would be in that code. I don't understand this right here. So this looks pretty big. Are these all the sound effects? I don't understand that. All right, let's scroll down here. A lot of stuff going on over there. Yeah, straight butter. Hugo says that's 1.3, but you're looking for 3.2 total diff. Yeah, but I still was thinking, well, if I take on that 1.3, that might help. But do you think there's, I mean, if I'm doing it by, if I do it by allocated size, that's it right there. If I do it by the size delta, it's there as well, right? Yeah, and this is comparing against snapshot 4. Yeah, I'm just, unfortunately, I'm not feeling like, oh, okay, I can find my way through this, partially because, too, this is, a lot of this is code I haven't written. It's in 3JS or in Canon. So, but I do think that it's maybe giving us some, yeah, the mesh fong is being recreated here. I think we've got maybe a dispose call missing when we clear them off, but why? I don't, in that review of the code, when we went through and line by line looked at the code, it's essentially the same with the exception of the event handler that we're hooking before, but we commented that out and it's still, we still have the jump. Let's look in the, anything else in please roll dice that we missed? That's it. And then we're out. Yeah, I'm not feeling great about it. All right. With that said, I think I'm going to look for this later. I find that these kinds of problems, wait, what if you shortcut out handle die collision right at the top? Right here. So the question is, what if I get rid of essentially the add event listener call? Is I think what you're asking, right? And we did do that. This is inside theirs. Let's get rid of this. So we just have one thing we're looking at. So this is theirs, random dice throw. That's from the example code. And this is mine from prepare base die. So that's when we throw ours out. I could do that. Oh, leave the listener, but in the method, just call return. All right, we can do that. Sure. Yeah, all we're doing here is we're just playing sounds. There could be a problem with the sounds, but we could totally do that. You think there's something related to that? Wouldn't that be interesting? Let's see. I don't think so, because we're handling it for the others. Got 19.2. Let's unmute the site a second, see what we sound. So we don't hear any of the collision sounds, but we hear these. All right, so all right, so let's go back now and do our roll. Okay, there's our roll. That's good, but what happens the next time? This is where we see this crazy jump. It's as if we're creating dice that can't be freed as cleanly. Yeah. It's like the second. That might be a clue into finding this as well. Our dice are not as freely cleanable as the others. That is, I think, the clue. Because that first snapshot, it comes right in about the same one. It's the second one afterwards. It's as if our dice are not being cleaned up every time. That's, I think, the clue. But I kind of want to do something else. I kind of want to work on something fun instead of, you know, trying to figure out what's going on. So let's kind of move to that place where you've got yeah, it's a good indicator of where to look. Yeah, so yeah, so I'll give that some thought. Often when I give things thought like this, they come to me like, oh, it's, you know, it's in the back of my head. And after some time, like my subconscious comes up and says, here's the answer. All right, so what I want to do now is I want to create some magic die is what I think I want to do. And what I want to do, and to give you a sense of what that is, hold on a second, let's go to console. Let's click bombs. I'm looking down in the bottom here, right there by my finger there. Every time I click, it changes the effect. Stinky fumes, the ring. That's the effect I wanted to show you. This ring effect is, when we run it, you'll see rings go around these dice. I want those rings, when we've got use magic set to true right here, when I've set that to true and I do a skill check, I want these rings to be spinning around the dice as the dice are rolling wherever they are. That's my challenge. So to do that, I've got to create some sprites. I've got to create some, add some elements. I've got to find out where the dice are. I've got to move them as the dice are rolling. That's what I have to do. It's a little bit insane, but we'll see. I think there's a chance we can get this done. We'll see what we can do with this. All right, so let's take a look at that. So in Please Roll Dice, the dice roll data is coming in here. I want to do something along the lines of all right, I'm going to change this to one die, so we're going to just do normal kind of rolls here. And then I want to do something to this effect right here. If dice roll data dot is magic, there it is right there. Then I want to do something here, and I haven't quite figured this whole thing out. Let's put a marker here and let's go look at how we're doing the rings right now, the ring effect. Hold on. I think I might have found the, no, does that make sense? No, it wouldn't make sense because these are also happening when the others are happening. So why is that? All right, I'm still caught up in the memory bug, trying to figure that out. Okay, so with the ring effect, where were we with that ring effect? There it is right there. So we're calling test magic ring. Test magic ring goes in and adds this piece right here to it. And that's the magic ring layer. And I think we want to Surly Dev is finding all kinds of test layouts here. Yeah, that returns the sprite. So I want to also, I think, return it here. I'm going to change this from test magic ring to add magic ring. And that is going to return a sprite proxy like that. And then we're going to return it here. And that's in dice layer. Okay. Then I want to go back to where we were, where we dropped that marker before. And I think I want to do something like this. So we're going to add a magic ring for it. And then we're going to say die dot magic ring equals this. And looks like my screen position X and Y actually doesn't matter here. I'm going to put these off screen for now. I'm going to put these at negative 999, comma negative 999 for now. Okay. Boom, boom, boom. All right. So then when we call prepare die, we push it out. So that die is going to, just to follow the code here, it's going to be inside dice. Okay? So then render. Here's where we want to change it. Dice layer is going to where it's going to render it. Here's where we need to update it. So we will need to do a essentially a for loop here to dice.length, right, like that. And then we're going to say dice equals dice of I. We're going to say if dice dot, and what did I call that? Magic ring? If dice dot magic ring, then we got a magic ring. And we want to get its position based on that die. That's what we want to do. Let's do this. Let's go back and look at how we got that screen position of it. Here we go. Screen position. Where am I getting that? There it is, right there. So we're going to get the coordinates of the die. Let's change this to die, like that. That would be better. Okay. If die.magic ring, then screen coordinates are equal to that. Then we're going to say magic ring dot, and then, whoops, die.magic ring. Do we need to tell it? Let's do this. Let's create a new sprite proxy here. And we're going to call this the ring, I guess. Die.magic ring, like that. And then I want to do ring dot sort of move. How do we get its position on here? Let's go jump into sprite proxy. It's been a while since we worked with this. X and Y. It's just got X and Y. So ring dot X equals screen position dot X. Whoops. And ring dot Y is equal to screen position dot Y. Like that. And then render. So let's see if that works. Let's do a refresh on that. There's the throw. Let's come over here. Let's do our throw. Looks like we're still loading. Looks like it didn't work. Element local to world is not a function. Get screen coordinates. Okay, I'm sending the wrong thing in to get screen coordinates. Hold on, I think. Let's see what's going on with that. The die is... Huh. The scaling dice that I'm adding, those are just the regular dice, aren't they? Let's see where I'm pushing. The die here is... Get object. Got it. Okay. So we need to go back to get screen coordinates. Dot get object. See if that works. Refresh. I would like to see those rings following, shooting around. Waiting for this to finish loading. There it is. Well, that did not work. Let's see what's going on. See if we can set some set a breakpoint here. Oh, we're in. Die magic ring. So let's see what our script position is on it. Seems reasonable. Ring. Can't step. I think I'm going to have to stop right here. I don't think there's anything I can do. Maybe refresh. Wait. Why am I breaking here? Weird that I've refreshed over here and I'm still breaking over here. Yeah, I just can't run. All right. All right, so let's close it. Close everything down. Shut down everything. And let's start and see what it looks like. That's going to be a lot. That's going to be a ton of messages being sent out. Shoot. I thought I killed every instance of Chrome out there. Let's try again. CMJ Chris Jones is out there with us, flying a drone. All right, hold on a second. Here comes the load. Okay, what's our... Well, screen position looks like it needs some help telling me what I want to hear, what I want to see out there. So let's do x plus screen position dot y. Let's make sure this is right as it's following it around. I'm assuming this is going to be good. Okay, let's refresh. I suppose I could do this now. Just click it. Oh, no, I can't. I think part of what the wait is waiting for Signal R to load up. There we go. Okay. That's all looking good. So there's that ring. We added the ring. And changing its X position doesn't change its coordinates. Maybe I'm forgetting how to move a sprite proxy around. Let's go into the sprite proxy again. Let's look at its X and its Y. Start X and start Y. This X is equal to, okay, that's if it's moving. That's if it has physics to it. The timer looks a lot more stable and fluid now. Yeah, it does. Yeah, it's great. Is it running now or no? Oh, because am I broken? Wait, I'm not broken. I'm not seeing it running on the stream. It's got to be refreshed. That's the problem. It's got to be refreshed on the stream. So let's see if that is sufficient to change it. Did I do that long enough? Whoops, no, wait, I did the wrong one. Hold on. This is the one I want to do to change it right there. All right. So the X and Y's look good. Why aren't we drawing it, is the question. And I'm drawing by index with that X and Y position. That should totally be working if it's still there. Is it not there? Let's go back to look at how we added that. Dice Layer Add Magic Ring. Yeah, we're putting it way off screen. All right, can I do this? Can I just put it in the middle of the screen? Let's try that at least, so at least we'll see it if it is a problem. Let's do that and refresh. Why isn't it moving? Oh, maybe I'm not drawing the effects during the roll. Is that my problem? No, I don't think so. I think I remember seeing code to that effect. All right. Waiting for that to finish loading. I think when this comes in, I think there's a message. Yeah. Yeah, that's the Signal R thing we're waiting for right there. Okay, now that we're there, let's run a skill check. Well, okay, there we go. So we're changing its X, but it's not moving. So let's figure that out. Ring X, ring. Why is that failing to work? I feel like there's a... This doesn't make sense. That doesn't make sense. Update position should not be called at all. I thought just changing this would be enough. Wait, did I somehow move to another X? Is that what I did? Oh, it extends sprite proxy. Got it. Okay. Yeah, that does not make sense to me. Wait, hold on. All right, well, let's do this. This is a little crazy, but let's in our draw, let's reference what those are. Just double check. I want to double check that code. How do we move, well, the drones around? What are we doing here? I'm sure it's just the same X and the Y, right? Let's look at its draw or update. Yeah, that's just going, this descends from sprite proxy, so it's just doing its draw. All right, so let's go into the draw here. Draw by index wouldn't do anything crazy like not use the X and Y. Yeah, that's fine. So let's do this. And see what, kind of mess up the console log that does for us there. Let's refresh. Okay. What's console log say? Yeah, the numbers aren't going down. Let's clear the console one more time, do one more roll. Before the effects go, they're up here. Here's where we're at. Yeah, so we're not actually changing the X and Y when it seems like we are. Oh, do I not have a plus there? Is that my problem? Did it still work without the plus? That's crazy. Wow. Okay. Stunning that worked. But it is, yeah, the location is not right. Why Why aren't we changing the X and Y is the question on this. There's the magic ring. We add it right there. Is it really that because I put it in a local variable, I've essentially typecast it, that it's not setting it? If I do it this way, will it set it? Is this like, did I just run into some weird JavaScript issue? Didn't want to use interpolated string. I can do that. I'm like, it's so fast, and I feel like, I mean, it's such a temporary thing. And usually interpolated strings take me more keystrokes to hit than the plus or minuses on it. Okay. Nope, that didn't do it either. Yeah, it is. The screen position is right. We're not changing the one that's being drawn. So the question is, what is wrong about this? Because in my mind, when we get the magic ring, when we get it, this is the same piece that we've added to in this call to add magic ring.
Killer!
What you got? I'm assigning with a double equals. God, wouldn't that be awesome? Why would I do that? Really? I think it means it's time for a break. That's what I think it means. Let's try again. I was off by that and I just wasn't seeing it. How horrible does that make me right now? Yeah, time for lunch and a nap. No kidding. Let's see what we got here. Here comes our roll. Oh, look at that. Nice.
Hugo rocks.
Let's do another one. Let's do an advantage roll so 2 dice come out. Do we get 2 rings? Nice. Okay, so we're off, but that's okay. We're off, but not a big deal. We can fix that too. The X and Y need to be offset set by the magic ring. Let's go to dice layer. This is where we hold on to the magic ring, and this is where we create it. We want to go. We want to offset by these is what we want to do. So we're going to say this is equal to this minus the ring. Wow, I really was doing that. I had double equals. That is like, I'm so disappointed in myself. Okay, ring.origin x, ring.origin y. This looks good. Why do I have an underline on this though? That's weird. I think that's going to fix it. Fix the offset for the magic dice roll. Holy cow. And then I've got those console logs I need to clean up as well. All right, here comes our check. What? What did we lose? What did I do? It's not liking origin X and Y. Oh, I know why. Oh, sorry, hold on. I know what's going wrong. It is dice layer or something like that. Layer, what is it? Got anything for me, IntelliSense? Dice layer. Dot, I want the lowercase one. Dice layer dot magic ring. That's what I want right there. Okay. One more time. Wow, Renee A77 just finished a 2-hour job interview. I would say that's probably not a bad thing if the interview goes for 2 hours. Although I'm just now recalling, I've been at like interviews that lasted all day in the long time ago in my old days. Yeah, watch the memory leak be something similar, Hugo says. Yeah, Hugo, I think there's a shot at that. There's something, it feels like there's one small little piece. Nice. Look at that, kids. Okay, we just got to, when the dice go away, we got to fade that thing out. Oh my God, I love it. Yeah, super cool. We're combining 2D effects. Oh my God, it looks so good. 2D effects with 3D. Really, really cool. Oh my God, that's so beautiful. All right, I'm super happy with the magic effects. So this is going to be used in Dungeons & Dragons when you throw an attack spell. And when you're doing a spell. Yeah. And so whenever you're rolling for a spell, it's going to do that.
Awesome.
Yeah. When we start the disappearing effects, that's when we've got to remove the magic rings. We got to just fade those guys out immediately. Oh my God, it's so beautiful. Yeah. I'm super happy with that. Yeah, it looks so freaking cool. The other thing I love about this too is that with the 2D effects, you have incredible detail that you couldn't get with a 3D rendering, right? We essentially have this particle system that's running here, right? And you never see this, right? You never see 3D and 2D combined because the essence of 3D is, well, we're going to move the camera on you, but we are not moving the camera for the 3D dice roll. And because of that, we can use these 2D effects in the background and on top to create these cool kind of layering things. Speaking of which, let me show you one of my favorite. It's really subtle. We got to clear all those out. But let's... every time I'm clicking, I'm not even able to see what the effects are going to be to remove these. We'll just have to play it by ear and try them to see which of the effects are. Where are we? Nope, not that one. Click it again. Oh, that's just the ring effect on top of the ring effect. I'm going to just get to show, I'm going to show you this. All right. Kind of cool. That's for when we roll 20s. Oh man, I love this effect so much. Yeah, I'm going to fade that out. That's the next thing I'm going to do. Is this the bomb? Nope. And what about this? There it is. This is what I wanted to show you. I love this because the fire looks like it envelops the flame. I'm not sure if you can see that on the stream or not there. Let me go refresh my view over here. Right, one more time. Yeah, the fire. Oh, I didn't mean to refresh there, but okay. Well, I did that. But yeah, the fire comes up around it, and that's accomplished with both an animation below the 3D dice and above it at the same time. So the fire comes out from behind it and then encloses over it. It's one of my favorite effects on here because it looks pretty realistic. There's the bomb. Yeah. So I'm not sure if you can see that or not on the stream, but it is if the frame rate's enough. Roy says, I think, or Hugh says, I think we're able to be impressed with the progress on Tuesday. I think so. I intend to work on this over the weekend as well. If the magic ring could collapse on itself when the die rolls off, that'd look cool. I'm gonna have it. I don't have any scaling yet set up, but I want to have. I've been thinking about adding it to the game engine, our game engine, so that we can scale and animate the scale. But what I want to do is I'm just going to have it fade out. That's what I'm going to work on right now. Shrinking the rings into nothing would look great. Okay, Renee is like just added on to that. So that means we have to scale. around a center point, which is we haven't figured out what to do yet on that. I'm still gonna. I'm not. I think I definitely need some food before I do that. Let me do a couple things. Let me clear out the console log messages in my draw function, which is what out in Sprite, right? Where are you out here, draw? Whoops, that was in the wrong place. I wanted to be in Sprite proxy. That's draw cropped. It's still in Sprite, so I'm going to be in Sprite proxy. There it is right there. There's my console log. Let's kill that. Kill that. Clean up those console log messages, so we're good with that. Bright particle bits fade out, and the tail disappears. Following it, it's early dev. Okay, guys, I've raised your standards up clearly too high. We're going to need to drop those standards down. This is just like when I was courting my wife before she was my wife. The question was, what are your standards? She said they're like, and I was like, no, you got to lower your standards. It's me. No lower than that, lower. It's me. That was my job, right? Instead of saying, oh, I'm up above your standards, I was like, let's lower the standards. Renee 77 says, well, I'm impressed with these effects. I would not know where to start. So here's the deal. With regards to to that particular action, we can do it, but we have to build that animation in. I'm not sure if the engine already supports that or not, that kind of end. But we do have, notice when we start these and we roll them out, we are starting that ring. Here comes the ring throw. We're starting it before it continues. And then it turns into a continuous piece right there. We're going to, let's clear out those, we need to clear those guys out. Let's do that. We need to remove those guys. And so what we want to do, we're going to have code similar to something like this. Where's our ending effects done? Please roll dice. Let's scanning up because I don't even remember the name of the function here. That it is not update physics, feels close. Highlight special dice. What's going on with here? That's update physics. Highlight special dice. What's going on with that? Interesting, we're calling that all the time. Need to hide die. Okay. This is, that's for the hiding the dice part, but the question is when need to start effect. If need to start effect, then now die need to start effect. So this is when we're getting rid of the die. Yeah, that feels like the time to do it. So if die.magic ring, then here's where we want to make the ring go away. The ring doesn't have like an expiration date is equal to, do I have a now reference? I do. I have a now plus, let's say 2000. And holy cow, is that going to be all we need to do? Is that just going to fade away? What's wrong? Why do I have this underlined here? Okay, it just took a while to get rid of it. Let's see if that solves that problem. Refresh. Still got that memory leak I got to take a look at. Speaking of which, Hugo was talking about that. Also, Hugo, it's like you're really impressed with the quantity of the console log calls. I think we're running into the memory leak some more. Things appear to be slowing down. Fading is a good start, though, is what was his comment. Let's see what the fading looks like. Hey, I will live with the fading. I've got enough I got to do to get this whole thing wrapping together so it's going to work. Here comes my throw. Let's see if these fade. Fade, fade. They're not fading. They are not fading. Die is the special dice. Let's see what's going on. Oh, are we not adding it to the special dice or are we? Stinky Fumes Fireball. If it's a Stinky Fumes Bomb Fireball, yes, we do. Steampunk Tunnel, we are. And the die that we're adding, is it the right type? Because there's a couple of different, no, it's get object. It's get object. So we can't do that. What I think we need to do then, that's why I think this is failing. We're never getting into this magic ring thing. We need to get the corresponding regular die that's associated with this. Or we need to do get object, put the get object on. Yeah, I don't know. I'm like not liking any of that. Let's do this. Remove. Gosh, is this going to be a performance issue? I don't think it is, because I'm only going to have a handful of these so we can find it. I'm going to do this. I'm going to say remove die effect. Like that. And let's declare that. Can I not declare that? Why is that not declaring? Okay, I guess I'll just do it myself. Function remove die effects. And this is going to be a die object that's going to be coming in here. Die object. Let's say it's type any. And I'm going to, then I need to go through all my dice. And if, well, let's do this. Dice of I. Yeah, Surly Deb says, I heard you courting her on Mondays, and she still married you. She did. Yeah, it's remarkable, isn't it? Okay, so we're going to say let die equal dice right there. And then we're going to ask the question, if die dot get object. Yeah, I'm not happy with the names of some of the code that I'm working with that I've inherited. I'm not happy with that. Equals die object. Wait, in this case, do I want a double equals? Whoa, 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 die object. We're passing in. Do I want a double equals? Because it should be the same reference. I think I do. If that's the case, then we can come down and say, do this question right here. If the die.magic ring, and I think that is going to fix it. And guess who needs a now in here? We do. Remove die effects. Let's pass in now. Okay. Let's see if that works. And if not, we'll set a breakpoint and figure it out. Yeah, no, I like where you were going, Surly Dev, where you were saying the bright particle bits fade out and the tail disappears following it. I think it's cool. Right now, the game engine supports an array of sprites that have a start and then an end and then a loop back to a continuous kind of loop. And that's how the ring works. So the ring, if we, and this is like much easier to visualize, if we come in here, and I think I've got a magic ring. What do I have here? It's not a dice, is it? It is, magic ring. Okay, so here, if we look at these, this is what the bitmaps look for this. So these are the starts. So we've got a fade in like this, right? Then it goes to the end, and it's got a loop back point where it loops back to right around here, some frame index. In fact, when we build it, somewhere around 59 there, when we build that inside of our dice layer, there it is right there, return frame index. We specify that. So we built the engine to support it. We could build the engine to say, here's my end frame index as well, and then but add frames beyond that if we wanted to. By the way, look at it. It's there are 180 of these images that we're using just to make that animation look so smooth and gorgeous. So I'm loving it. The other thing I want to do too is I want to have sparks shoot out under the die as well for certain kinds of roles. I'm not entirely 100% sure what I want to do that. How big is that directory? This is pretty big, I think. You want just the magic ring or you want all the assets? Magic ring, properties, it is about 20 megs of images. Wonder if running something like PNG Gauntlet might help for all the PNGs. I'll take a look at that later. Is that a tool that reduces the size, compresses them, I suppose? I'm guessing that's probably what it is. Yeah, it is. Okay. At this point, I'm like happy to throw lots of stuff at my machine until my machine starts to creak and be like, I can't quite handle it. Okay, so let's see. I forgot what we were doing. Did we refresh this? I think we did. And then I'm going to run this now. Are these going to disappear? Please. No, they're not. Set a breakpoint. Let's refresh. Make sure our code is there. Remove die effects. We should at least see something here, but I have a feeling we're not even getting here. And skill check. Skill check. Oh, we're not done loading yet. Are you looking for, hey boss, my computer's limiting my ability to work? Yes, that's exactly what I'm looking for. Although my last computer, I did not go to DevExpress for because I was like feeling a guilt about how expensive it was and didn't want to do that. But my next one, they're getting it because I'm guilt free now that I got this last one. Yeah. Okay. So we're not getting there. I bet we're getting here. For this one, let's see if we're getting here. Let's run it. Another one. Here comes another throw. We should get there. Did I set the breakpoint in the right spot? No, not even there. We're not even getting there. What? Need to start effect. Maybe I'm just not understanding what's going on here with the need to start effect. On dice roll stopped. Well, you know, I could just do this instead of working so hard to get hold on. Let's do this. Get rid of that. Get rid of that. I'm just going to do this. That's going to make me, I think, happier. Jump back to where we were. Remove die effects. Do I have a now in here yet? Looks like I don't. Don't care about the time there. So I'll just do PFN like that. Or maybe not. Make the call simpler. Why is it not seeing it? Where is remove die effects? I don't understand why it's not seeing it. Oh, it may be just because it didn't like that. Yep. Gonna take a break. All right, so here we go. VN for, oh, that was on the clipboard, really? Okay, now is equal to PFN. That. All right, move die effects. We don't need, that's gone from here completely. And we just have it there. Oh, but we don't need to call it multiple times. We need to do it like once. And let's see if we have any improvement. Hugo says it's been 4 years. Yeah, so for me, what historically what I've been doing for like easily over a decade is I get the fastest computer and I keep it for about four years. The fastest laptop available. But since I started streaming, performance has really been a concern. I want to be able to just push things to the limit. So here, let's try it now. Here comes the roll. Fade away. Yes. There's the fade. Let's watch it again. It jumps. There's a sudden jump though in it. It's as if the expiration date. Oh, I know what I need to do. I think I know what's going to fix this. We're going to say this is, I think it's fade out time. Fade out time is equal to 2000 as well. If we do those two things, because otherwise it thinks, well, I've been fading out since I started or something like that. Weird still that my breakpoint's not being hit, but I don't care because it's working. One last time. Hold on. News update. This just in from Surly Dev. More stuff at the machine throw more stuff at the machine until it creaks and you can justify buying a new one. I got a new laptop at my job in February last year. Then after using the one I inherited for nearly 3 years, then left the job in November. I have a nice shiny Porsche design. Book one at the moment. It looks good, but not really performant. Fold back detachable keyboard tablet mode is nifty, but it does have its issues. Yeah. So for me, like just performance is the thing. All right, here comes the roll. Let's see if this is a smoother fade out. Nice. That's perfect. So that I can live with this, right? This I can ship. That's an effect I can ship. Let's check it out with the other effects. Let's go into the console. What are we on here? Color smoke is the new shock is the new effect. So let's throw that out and look at those with the colored smoke. There's the roll. Yeah, it's not bad. I could speed up that fade out, I think. I think I want to do that. Let's do that. Let's come in here and say const fade out time. Set that equal to about 1200 milliseconds, like that. Whoops. And there. And come back over here and run it. The default 3200 by 1800 resolution is far more than my eyes can cope with. Oh yeah, that's another problem, right? You can have two VS instances open side by side and not have to use horizontal scroll bars. That's crazy, but like, how do you see that? Like, for me, I remember when I used to work, I used to have my text super tiny when I worked, and due to strain and things like that, I stopped doing that. So now we've just sped up that. Yeah, that seems a lot smoother. So we still have the memory leak. Got to figure that out. Let's change the. There's the colored smoke one. Let's run it again with colored smoke. I'm okay with that. Let's unmute that. Do it one more time. Here it comes again. I'm okay with that. Let's click again. There's the bomb effect. This is probably going to be fine because the bomb is giant. It totally is going to encompass it and hide it, I think. Yep. And it's gone. Perfect. That looks good. Steampunk tunnel. Here it comes. Yeah. It's all working really well. That's super cool. That means if we want to have sparks, like the other thing I was thinking is, oh, I could do sparks every time it hits a surface. Every time it hits the floor, I could put sparks shoot out from underneath the die. And I think that might look very cool too. Yeah. That is not bad. Yeah. And so that's a normal roll is just going to throw one die out of. If I turn off use magic, we should just get it there. Yeah, all by itself. Looks good. Here's magic with a normal roll. Nice. All right, I'm good. Sparks on collisions. Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking. Every time it hits the floor or collides with something else, sparks. But I think to make it look realistic, you've got to have a different, an array of spark effects. So one for the bottom, which just shoots out all over. Another for a collision between two die that I'm not exactly sure where I'm going to put that. Does it go under the die or above the die or both? Right? I'm not really sure about that. But I was definitely thinking under the die when it hits the floor is something I could totally maintain, would be easy. I'd only need one set of resources on it. And it'd have this cool effect, like what's going on, right? When you're rolling the die. At the side when they hit each other. Yeah, the problem is now, we've got rotation. We added it. I've got to be able to rotate that spark effect so it looks realistic, and it comes out and shoots out in the right way. But the other thing is sometimes collisions can happen on top of each other, right? And so it's still like, I'm going to have to find the other piece, find out where they are, if they're on the same height level, I've got 3D space, so I can figure this all out, right? If they're on the same height level and then I can figure out, get the distance between the two, cut it in half, figure out the perpendicular, rotate the sparks in that direction, like that, and we have sparks shooting out from the sides. We can do it with some math, and I think we have the performance time to do this. I don't think it's going to impact performance a lot. The question is, how much coding is involved? And I think the coding time is going to be easily a couple hours to get it like that, whereas to get sparks coming out from the bottom, I think it's going to be like a couple minutes to get that out. And so from my perspective, if I'm only looking at context with the floor, I already know where to put the sparks. They're underneath it, centered. Right? So all I have to do is look for floor contacts and put the sparks out, and everything else I won't. And I think from that standpoint, I think it's something I want to try because, like I say, it's going to take minutes to do that. All right, let's do this, folks. We're at the end of the show. If you've hung out this long and you do not have a copy of CodeRushed and you want a copy of CodeRushed, give me some kind of indication in the chat room. Speak to me right now. Say, yes, please. Say, I'd like a copy. CodeRushed, please. Put in the letter CR if you want to save yourself some time. If there's anybody out there who does not have it, who wants a copy, also I'm going to give away a copy right now as well. We do that every show, give away a copy of CodeRushed because CodeRushed is generally pretty awesome. Surly Dev says, got it. Retro CRT says, yes, please. I'm going to get you right now, Retro CRT. And Breaky says it as well. I love how polite everybody is. Okay, let's get these up and start sending those messages out. And hold on, uno momento. All right, we are in episode 114 of the show. All right, so Retro CRT, there you go. Look in your DM Whisper. And Breaky, you're getting yours in a sec too as well. And thanks for watching the show, kids. I'm glad to have you with us. Today's winner.
Zero by Chris.
Zero by Chris. Awesome. And that's what I want there. And Breaky. Here's your Whisper as well through Twitch DM with instructions for how to get it. And I'm going to add you folks in so that when you contact us, you'll be confirmed. And with that, I want to say thanks so much. Hugo, you saved us, Hugo. You saved us by spotting my double equals assignment attempt. I don't know what I was doing with that. And it looks good. We're looking good. It's looking beautiful. That's what I like. Let's do a quick on the way out. We're going to enter combat, and you will see the explosions to the right. Boom. And we'll exit combat. Isn't that fun stuff? Yeah, double equals really assign it. Yeah. So it just says, thanks, Mark. Lots of fun as usual. Even if you did distract me from tidying up, apologies for that. Mosterick says, came late for the fun. Damn late nights. Renee A77 says, thanks for streaming. And what do I need to do? I need to go, let's go check who I'm following out here. Who's out there streaming right now? Oh, our good friend Instafluff as well. We're going to take you guys over there to Instafluff's page. Great stuff as usual over there. Raid Instafluff. There's the raid message. And kids, we will see you on Tuesday.